Hey, it's Chris Pontius from Jackass and Wild Boys, and it's time for MattieC'S Sports for You and Me. MattieC'S Sports for You and Me, food for the sports fan's infernal soul. Feast on field goals. Check out MattieC'S Sports for You and Me. Even if you don't like sports, tune in now because you are going to. It's that good. I mean, we got sports for guys, sports for gals, sports for the whole kids. Get ready to be happy. MattieC'S Sports for You and Me. Sports for you, sports for me. Brought to you by Mattie C.
On this team, we fight for that itch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that itch.
Coming in at 320 kilobytes per second. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for MattieC'S Sports for you and me.
When it comes to getting dough and chasing dollars.
All right, everybody. Welcome to MattieC'S Sports for You and Me. Actually, late night edition MattieC'S Sports. I got a very special guest with me tonight who's got some revealing news, some really good fucking news going on. I have Carlos the Cannon Candelario, straight out of Connecticut. So I met this guy August 6th and came up to me and introduced himself. And this dude definitely has a good respect for his game in the MMA and just totally just showed what he's about, 8-0. And there's a reason why he's on the show tonight. So let's tell the fans what's up and let's get right into it.
Hey, what's up, Mattie? Thank you, man. Appreciate the love. You know, another fight, another dollar.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This is where the big money come at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, this is like, these are the fights that kind of make it worth it. You know, like you want to train, you want to wake up and show everybody like what you got and stuff, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, you in the pretty much New England, I want to say cartel and, you know, you guys showing up just in full force, and John Doomsday coming in like last CES 236 was pretty sick. So it was a life changer for me because that was my first experience seeing. I've been to MMA fights, but like to be on the side I am right now and meeting other fighters, you know, it's a big thing. So, you know, going back to that, like your fight was against Miguel Restrepo, which I thought was a back and forth fight. I think the first round you were shaking off the rust. I mean, you hadn't fought since August 1st, 2017. So of course there's going to be a little bit of things going on like that. So after that, like, how did you feel coming into the fight to the after effect of it? Because you seemed like you weren't happy with yourself with the win.
Well, I went in there, you know, definitely thinking I could finish Miguel, you know, like I always have high expectations of myself. Every time I go into the cage, I'm always thinking, man, I'm going to take this guy out fast, or I'm going to have a spectacular fashion, you know, result. And kind of when that doesn't happen, I'm like, kind of, you know, disappointed. I kind of see decisions as lost. Not all decisions, because you can learn a lot, you know, and I definitely learned a lot from this fight. But just in there, I felt like the first round was like, man, you know, like this is what it's like again. You know, the whole just the whole nerves, and you see, and I actually have a big crowd, so it's like it was the energy. I could definitely feel it in there because this is so small. It's not like a big arena, so it's like you could definitely feel the vibe in there. But man, it's like when I get in there, it's crazy. Like I told myself, like, man, this is like what I started for, like all these feelings and stuff, and getting in here. Like I went so far, and it's like I was like, why did it take me so long to get in here? I know like the pandemic, and I had like a lot of injuries and stuff like that, but I was just like, it's not so bad. Like, and I'm bleeding and stuff, but it's just like I'm like, this is not so bad. But I just feel like it was just a good one to get in there, and just to kind of show new skills too, because I feel like in my other fights, you would look at me as kind of a striker. Like I could do it all, but that I'm kind of avoiding the grappling. Then this one, you see that I kind of am grappling, so you're like, man, now you're like, what is he gonna do? You know what I mean?
Right, and that's what happened. That's what happened when I met up with you at the presser, and you were like, well, I'm gonna do this, and then I was like, well, he didn't do that. What's he doing? So like you said, it's kind of like you changed up the game, and everybody's like waiting for you to have your style of fighting, and then you totally switch it up. Like it's you totally changed it up in that fight, especially like. And I think like in that first round, if like I said, the rust was there. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's shit. You had a layoff for that long, and then you come in there and you pretty much showed up back in form from 2 and 3. So especially in the third, you totally came in and just said, I'm determined to just finish this fight off. And I mean,
yeah, no, it was crazy because my corner was trying to have me sit down, and I was like kind of like getting up, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna get this guy this round. I'm gonna get him, or eventually his cardio is gonna go down, or his age is gonna pop up. I was like thinking like that, but I definitely feel like Miguel was ready for me. He definitely got into a better camp too, and he's telling me too that he was training a lot more. This one, it was a longer camp. This one. The other one we fought was kind of like 2-week camp. This one was a 5 to 6 week camp. So, I'm just impressed like with him, but I'm like glad I kind of got those 15 minutes in too.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you need that. You can't just be finishing everybody. Right. I feel.
Right. It's not in the game. And, somebody grappling for you got a 5-round match, it's 25 minutes. And so what if it's a ground game the whole time? Like people want the action, but like it's like boxing. Like everybody didn't like with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, where it wasn't a bloodbath. It was Mayweather scoring on points. That's what it was.
Making them look original, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be an all-out war. And like with you guys that night, I felt like it was the second round was the most like, I would say like entertaining because you were throwing down, but he was also like coming at you. Like you were still throwing down and he was still coming at you. Like it was like, it's like he didn't want to back down from you.
Matty, when you get in there, right? Because it's like, literally, if you see that fight again, literally the first thing he does was grab for a low single. And then that's when I got the neck, kind of, and I got taken down. But I get back up, it's just like, it's kind of like, oh, like I thought he was going to strike with me a little bit. It's just a lot of shoulda, coulda, woulda when you get in there, especially when you haven't gone in for it. You're like, oh, man, maybe he's going to, show me all his skills, like he said in the press conference, but he's going back to just like the first fight. So it's like, and then 2, I always had this since I started too. Like, I want to beat people in their own game. Like if you see my contender series, I don't think that was the best thing to go into Candido's guard. But I'm like, man, I'm not scared of his game. Like I'm gonna beat him everywhere. Like I've been training everything. And if we go to my background, I started with wrestling a little bit, middle school, 13, all that stuff. Then, high school doing kickboxing and boxing, and it all like I was doing, like, I was taking people down. Like, I do it even in training. Like, I take good, like, I always adapt when I felt like my striking or just want to switch it up. And then my kickboxing coach, like, oh, you need to meet a MMA jiu-jitsu guy. I know a guy small like you, so, and it actually works. And then it progressed to that. Met him, and then I meet other, like, fighters that do it in the Connecticut area, because at the time there wasn't too much in that, like, 2010, 11 era. And then it's just like all progressed. People were like, man, you're doing good. You're on the ground and everything. You need to start doing MMA, not just boxing or kickboxing. So it's like everything progressed. And it's not like, I know people that haven't seen it too much, like a lot of my amateurs and stuff like that. But I was always taking people down. I was always mixing it up. I'm always trying to make it hard for people to figure me out in a way.
And you're consistent. You have a game plan and you stick with it. And that's what I respected about you. And I checked out your fights on what I could with YouTube and stuff like that before CES, and I said, whoa, like, this guy really takes his game serious. I can tell you have a strategy for each fight, and it may change with a different fighter, but I think this is where you yourself are ready for the next chapter in your fighting career with coming up this coming fight at Apex, which I'm jealous, man. That looks like a sick little venue to fight at.
Oh man, because I fought in the first one. I actually did the first Contenders back into the and that was still like, that was like an Ultimate Fighter fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Small ass crowd. Like, I had my friends and my family and then my girl and stuff. So it was all good. But this one is like, man, that shit look like really nice. Like you said, it's kind of like, I wish there's not gonna be spectators this one. I found out, but it'll be nice to kind of hear my corner too, because in the fight, man, I couldn't even hear my corner at all.
Right, at CES, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm kind of like pumped for that one.
Yeah, and this one I think is a big one. You got a kid in Victor Altamirano, and he's 9-1, and El Magnifico. I don't know about
that means
that
like
nickname.
The magnificent, like in Spanish.
No, I know, but like I just find it like I found it like kind of a different type of name. Like I saw what he looks like, and I'm like, you don't really look like the Magnificent.
But what will you name him? What will you name him then? What's the name? Because I feel like my nickname kind of goes well with me. I got a long ass last name, but like the Cannon. And then I'm
you got a song
explosive.
You got a song in it, man. That's why I threw it down for you. If I were to call Victor something, I would probably call him, let's see.
It's kind of hard, right?
I don't know, maybe like Victor the Victorious or something. I don't know. Or maybe that's a bad omen.
Because he wins too,
Yeah. Well, he's got that one loss, and he might have two. I'm hoping too.
Oh man. And definitely he has some in amateur. I know that.
That's good. So, he fights out of LFA. I know you probably did some research on that. They got Holly Holm was the only really the preacher's daughter. That's the only one I really see. But, that's probably some hard-nosed fighters coming out of there, Houston, Texas area.
Good guys.
But I mean, the New England scene is definitely rising up for sure. I mean, I was told before this, like with Boston, it's not just Boston. It's Lowell, it's Connecticut, it's Providence, it's Rhode Island, Warwick, Cranston, Rhode Island. Like, it's not just a boxing. I fought a lot in
Rhode Island, so and then I trained out there a little bit with Rob Fong and at Triforce, like a lot of like local big kind of fighters, like more of the pro fighters. They have a few good spots out there. I went everywhere to Mass, Connecticut, like around this area, the New England area. If you ask about me, I feel like everybody kind of knows, like all the good guys,
Yeah, and I mean, I talked to a few people, and I talked to my friend and his camp, like with I talked with Slippery Peter Barrett here and there. He's been in the
I love that
UFC.
guy.
He's fought twice.
Yeah, he actually, like I told you, he actually went to my last contender fight. He was actually in the crowd. We talked a little bit, and that's how we kind of got cool too. Just a lot of support with each other.
He's a good dude. Good dude. I'm sure he'll be in your corner and throw that stuff in there.
His last fight was crazy too. I know both of those guys too.
Yeah, they I don't know about the last one, but the one before that kid was a little fucking Spider-Man. Like he was just like
he was just stuff, he pulled it off.
What was his name? Chase Hooper.
Yeah.
He was just a quick little shit, man. And like as a fan of another, as a fan of a UFC guy, like you're a local guy who you're rooting for, and then you see him like with that shit. But he's so humble he's so humble and funny. Like it's wicked cool. Like he's a fighter of the people, kind of like exactly what you are.
Oh, definitely. That's why I think he kind of got the shot in contender. Like his fight was a war, and then Dana was like, "Man, I got it. Like if I don't sign this guy, people are gonna kill me." And it's like, come on, man. Like the guy, like you said, the people. Like the people know so much about him, love the dude.
And that's the difference, It's like you see Usman, and now Colby Covington wants to fight him too, and they're gonna get the rematch. It's like Usman is like a fan of the people. Covington is a bully, and he's like a guy who calls his own fans like nerds and shit. And it's like, bro, like you can't be doing that. Like, but anyways, this fight coming up, this guy 9-1, you 8-0. What do you think? What do you know about him in his style of fighting?
It's crazy. I've actually been studying him kind of a lot. This one, and I feel like we do study things, but I never go to like the full stream. But yeah, I was like actually studying him today with a few sparring partners, because today was like my last good one, my last good sparring. And then I've been seeing a lot because he's southpaw, right? He's southpaw. I see that, a lot of these guys at this level are tough. But I try to go for a lot of their bad habits, their tendencies, their kind of go-to combos, things like that. And it's like, like I said, a lot of these guys are tough, but I try to pick out things that I'm like, oh, I'm going to get him with this. I'm going to get him with that. So I see a lot of that in this fight. I'm not trying to like put it too much out there, but definitely a lot of, I'm trying to be a lot quicker than him and just beat him to the punch kind of. I always go like that to a fight, is where whatever happens, be prepared, right? And I just feel like when I see this fight, not to sound cocky or anything, but it's like when you get in this level, you have to see the good and bad of like your opponents, right?
Right.
And I just feel like I'm going to be prepared for everything he has. I don't really see anything that he's going to throw that I've never really seen before. Like, a lot of these guys are, I feel, more tougher than others, but
right.
Like and his style and stuff, I definitely feel like is a good one for me.
And I checked out a couple of highlights of him too. And, it like you yourself are like a pretty built 125. He's like a twig 125, like he's not.
But it's kind of true. I did have a lot of my amateur was 135. And then I did, I got the belt there at 135. I did like a little tournament, local like MMA. And then I did, I I just felt I was always like that 138, 135. Like I never really had to cut crazy for 135. And I was like, man, I feel I could make 25. And then that's when you get more invested into this game, you eat a little cleaner, right? You get more into the things more professional. And I just was losing even more weight. And I'm like, man, this is literally be like a 10. When you hear these guys are cutting like, what, 30, 40 pounds?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was watching, watch them old school Ultimate Fighters with Chuck Liddell locking a fighter in a fucking sauna.
And I don't even do that, Matty. Like, I honestly just sit in a bathtub like a few times, hot tub, do the towel thing, and weight just comes out of me, like.
Yeah.
So, and then now I feel like I even been more into my nutrition. Like I'm really into what I put into my body now, to like food, to soap, toothbrush. Like I'm like so on another level now. It's like crazy. And I never thought I would be like that,
Well, like being hygienic is another form of being healthy too, like,
it really is.
Like you want to go into a fight smelling like shit, or do you want to go like nice and ready and clean to go, except you got like 12 pounds of Vaseline on your face. So
yeah, man. But I feel like, and I still get cut, right? Like, but I feel like I always mark really easy, but I heal up like Wolverine. Like in 3 days, 40, I'm clean. It's crazy.
Yeah, when I talked to you at the fight at CES, you had a cut. I think it was your right eye? I think it was your right eye. You said you heard it in camp before it.
Yeah,
was it
3
your left?
weeks actually before.
3
weeks before the fight.
And then you knew it was gonna be cut too, and then you still won the fight.
I just had a feeling, and because I knew it was gonna be like grappling too, and just like a lot of head. You know what I mean? And then I just really mark easily. Like even in training, you catch me. Like I don't know if it's because I don't really get hit too much. So when I do get hit, I feel like it just like pierces through my skin.
Yeah. And so this is a big question for you, and I know you're a prideful guy. Like, do you feel like you got, your hometown, your city? Do you think that like the state of Connecticut pretty much has your back wherever you go, or whatever you do?
I definitely feel like I have a lot of MMA support community, right, wise. But I definitely feel like my hometown and like Connecticut never really went like really support. Like I always got a lot of support from maybe Massachusetts, like
yeah, man.
Man, really honestly, like Massachusetts, Rhode Island, I always got a lot of support from them. And it's crazy because I used to do like posts on Facebook sometimes about like I don't get love from my own town. Like it's crazy. Like there'd be times that I will actually write to the mayor, and like my friends would tell him like, yo, this Carlos, he's actually like pretty good, and they don't really, like it's crazy. So that will actually give me fuel, Matty. Like a lot of times, I was like, man, I want to get like really to that level so they can notice me,
And like exactly, and you're feeling
one
that
second.
way.
My phone's about. Let me get the turn. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
No problem.
Yeah, so a lot of it was like that, man, too. Like I hated that I have like my schools and stuff and my friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of where I come from, they don't support too much of it unless it's like football or I don't know, maybe like baseball, maybe. But you never really hear of any like big fighters.
That. All right,
Okay,
here we go. But yeah, man. I mean, you do need the hometown support, and it would be a shame that it would take the the fame of, you know, if you rise to the top, which you have the confidence of being a flyweight champion, you know, lower featherweight champion, you know, you have that ambition to go, you know, and then your town and city will know that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel like even people tell me, man, look, the Cannon's back, Carlos is back, like that mentality of like how I was before. Cause a lot of it, like I told you, I felt like a lot of my town wasn't giving me support, and you know, you feel like a lot of this is like an individual sport. You know, it's a team sport. You got your team training partners, but a lot of this is on you. You know, so definitely support. And then this fight, man, my crowd, it definitely shows me that I do have a lot of support. You know, like when it comes to like family and training partners and friends, like a lot of people want to see me perform. What do you thought about my crowd?
About your card now?
The crowd, like the crowd for my card, for my fight.
Oh, I thought your crowd was well. I do think that some people on my side of the room, where I was standing, like, you know, where the booth was and the announcers were.
Okay.
I think, you know, coming from a fan's point of view and also my interviewing podcasting point of view, I was there to watch, obviously, you and the other fighters. So you were the top 3 of my fight. So I had you at 1, Doomsday, and Tom at 3.
Okay.
So Phenom he laid that dude out. I don't know if you saw that particular moment.
Catching and kicking on the 2.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. And John just is John. He did what he needed to do. And you're storing your return. Like, I was like, damn, like I need to be in this dude's camp, like, first, like as a friend to support you, you know, like I'd fly to Apex for you to fight, man. That would be sick.
And you can actually see it when people show support. Like, I'm genuinely like appreciative about it.
Oh, and right? You definitely were, man.
Like, I do feel the love sometimes, and I do like it. Like, and it's crazy because it's like, if you do look me up, man, like, you don't see no brand stuff about me. Like, really, you don't. A lot of it's like my team and like my friends and family that help me out. Really. And
one of the articles was the top 5 people that are on their way into the UFC, and look what's going on, you know, like you were on that list. So
I mean, that's cool, right?
Yeah. I mean, are you, do you look into the media for yourself, or is it like you pick and choose who you want to see and
yeah, I was like that. I was like that for a little while. I just felt like I wanted to stay away from a lot and focus on myself, right? My game. But yeah, I definitely pick and choose. On Facebook, I follow a lot of people and I see a lot of things that are going on. But yeah, I definitely feel like I pick and choose. But when I seen this stuff, like when I see that stuff, I definitely feel it's very motivating, and like I want to get back on track, because after my contenders fight, the UFC actually did offer me a fight. Like, not even a day after, they wanted me to compete again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I couldn't, because I knew my ACL was busted. Like, and you know, the UFC, when they're knocking, they want you to, you know, open the door and take that opportunity a lot of times, right? They'll give it to somebody else if you don't want to take it. So
and I
a lot of it was that, man. You know, I kind of wanted to get back on track because I felt like like you said, I was right there, right? Like Sean Shelby, McMaynard, they know about me. They did a few things. I talked to Dana a few times. Like, he was like, I want you back, you know, like they offered me a fight and everything, but you know, I just wasn't there. And then at the time when I did want to come back, they were having the whole 125 lighter weight classes dilemma at the time. And I was trying to do what a lot of my friends did. Like, a lot of the people out here, they end up doing like 3-4 week notice fights. They kind of jump into a card a lot of times. Yeah. The guys that get opportunities out here, if you look at it, the stats, like Bob Font, Calvin. They all did it like just jumping in. Matt Bissett, Parker Porter, a lot of these New England guys just take the opportunities when it's available for them. So I just I knew if I fight that they cannot deny me again to want to see me perform in their show again that's pretty much what it was, man. Like I fall again, they were like, "Oh, Carl's fighting again. Oh, this guy fell out. Does he want to fight again?" And what do you think I'm gonna say? Now that I feel active
Right.
and I was so angry about not so angry, but I was like, man, like I really want to perform or show that cannon kind of thing,
But the thing is that, I really respect what you said. You had an ACL injury, one bad kick or something, and that 8-0 could have been 7-1. You know what I mean? So you got to think of it in the positive way. You're still undefeated. This is what's getting you on a good card at a good location.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
In CES, I met senior Birchfield senior and seemed like a very nice guy. So what do you think of the Birchfields? Do you feel like family with them?
Yeah, I feel very good. I was really cool with Junior. Really, he was really helping me to starting off. Giving me a lot of promotion. And at the time, I don't know if really know about Matt Bissett. They love Matt the Mangler. He's fighting for the Hartford card, the championship fight against Bruce.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
he's fighting. You got to check him out. He's pretty good. And no, I just Matt will always tell me good things about the Birchfield, and then I just have that personality. I want to talk to them, and they always show me love, man. They always give me the right promotion. And then senior, I remember one time he saw one of my, because I actually got a fight of the year under CES one time when I fought Jesse, this kid named Jesse, and ended up being 5 years of war. I felt I was dominant, but the kid wasn't going away, right? And he was throwing shots at me too. So it just ended, and it wasn't even on TV, man. So it ended up being fights. So ever since that, you could tell senior's a real big fan of fighting, and likes fighters. And he was like, "Oh my god, I can't," because I don't look like the part in a way. So when these people see me fight Savage, just like, oh man, And then it's just ever since that, I just got real good relationship with the Birchfield and Pat Sullivan and a lot of the CES family. And then I think that's why they were kind of excited to see me fight again and get me the co-main event for this, last card.
And, I met Senior. He's an old school Italian guy. And he saw I was kind of pressed, and he was like, and I wanted to, talk to him, and he's like, "Did you eat yet? Did you eat yet? Just have something to eat." He wouldn't even let me talk to him. He's old school. He's like, just eat. There's plenty of food. Just eat. But it's fun. It's funny. I can tell Senior is more of a boxing promoter, and he, that's because of Vinny Panzienza, and and it still continues on now. Where Junior, I think, concentrates more on you guys. Then that's what it seems like to me. I mean, do you feel the same?
Like Senior still knows us, like I told you, he actually seen a couple of my fights. He goes there. It's not like he doesn't see the fights, or sees the fight from afar. He actually is in the crowd saying what up to the fighters he loves, and knows that he show him good fights and perform. He's always there. I feel like, you're definitely right about the boxing. You can tell he's more passionate about that, but he's definitely into the MMA too. He knows good fighters and stuff,
Well, he picked you, man. So
yeah, I just appreciate those guys really. I feel like they really helped me come back too. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna give you a good fight," really put you out there again. And I feel like they do get a lot of guys to the big show. They really do. And when you look at it, they got more than 5 guys into the UFC.
Yes, for sure. And so, like, my thing for you is like with this kid, like, do you think you have a slight advantage, or what do you think going into this fight? Like, do you think you're mentally prepared on it? It kind of is a short notice. I mean, you just fought August 6th.
Mm-hmm.
So like for him, I don't know how many weeks he's been off, but do you feel like you?
I kind of like stuff like that because, like I said, I'm on the mindset of like I want to perform good, and I do feel like I have advantages over the kid. Like definitely, I feel I have more of an arsenal than him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little tighter, faster, I believe. You know, and two, I feel like if I have that feeling that if he wants to strike and stuff like that, oh, it's a different story, dog. It really is, man. Like when I know a guy's game plan, like really, like, oh, okay, this is what he really wants to do. I get more comfortable at that area too, you know. So I definitely feel I could pull this one off. Like I wouldn't be signing up if I didn't feel like that. And then two, this 15-minute fight of like grappling shows me that I could actually, you know, I feel I could actually put the pace. And in my fight, I felt like I could put more of a pace. Like I remember telling myself, where's my tenacity? Like, you know what I mean? Like where's that extra little, you said I put it on the third round, but like, I don't know. Like I just felt like I know I got more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you felt like you had more gas in the tank. Like you still had some
Like, yeah, I was
juice
like
ready to pop.
So tentative. Like I remember the third round, I was like, I know I'm up like 2, like, you know, so it's like, I don't know why I'm grappling this dude. Like I could really just be laying some hands on him, like, you know. But like I said, you know, it's always a learning and like it could have been 7-1, right? You
Yeah,
know, like I'd rather learn
exactly.
from this, and I feel like this fight is a good matchup for me. So I'm like, I'm just trying to go with the flow, right? Like just
Exactly.
do what I do best. Like I did a lot of, there's nothing new. I feel like too, because in my amateur days, I did the Golden Gloves and things like that, and that's when you're fighting like every 2 to 3 weeks if you do Vans. And I did the Premier FC tournament at the time where you're fighting like every month because it was like a tournament at the time. It was like knocking off every guy, and then I ended up winning that whole tournament.
No shit.
And then the Golden Gloves too. So it's like it's not something that is like out of the ordinary for me. You know, like sometimes I
Right.
actually feel like I want to, like a video game, right? Like I got an extra life.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to make
Yeah.
that same mistake again. I want to do it flawless this time.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it seems like you fight your way, and then you know when you fight your way, it's like it's almost like I feel like you're like what's next? Like who's next? What's
going on?
next?
What's going on? Yeah. What's going on, right? Yeah.
Like I feel like that's every fighter too, is like what do I do next? Or like overthinking either in the octagon or outside, but like it seems like you're just like you have that, but like you're mellow at the same time. Like you have composure at points.
I don't freak out. That's the whole thing. Like a lot of, and that's too many, like what I was been doing a lot of my training camp is what he kind of does, like good, get myself in bad positions too, just in case if it does happen, I don't end up freaking out. And then it's like, because a lot of guys are the hammer, I feel. They're always going forward or something. Never really experienced getting hit or like going backwards or like a guy stuffing their takedowns or like making it a gritty fight. They end up getting tired the first round and it's over, So like a lot of this training camp too is I always do like the last few weeks is situational stuff, what they do good and bad, so I just feel like kind of on point right now with a lot of things.
That's a good positive attitude, my friend. And So my final question to you, since late night with Mattie C has gone very far.
I kind of like it.
What's your plan for Vegas? Like, you got something going on for Vegas, like, going somewhere in particular you want to see, what to do? Like,
I feel like I want to go there and actually, like, enjoy. I feel like the last time I was kind of the first time, right? Like, you're always soaking everything up. This one actually really enjoyed the journey, right? Like, this is my second chance. So, like, I just want to, like, go in there, really, like, show who I am. Actually, maybe even talk to Dana White a little bit more, like, get a relationship with the guy kind of thing, because I feel like that's what kind of gets guys to the higher, like, just when you got the UFC behind you a little. So a lot of it is like, man, my plan is just to, like, really show the canon, like, why they put me, like you said, in this good card, right? They could have picked a lot of other guys, I feel.
I mean,
Anybody,
you're a co-main
right?
event.
Right? Like, I feel like anybody would have said, yeah, right? A lot of times. But, like, they're like, they know Tyson. They know, they seen me. They're like, oh, man, we got to get Carlos. So it's just like, why not, right?
Right.
And I feel good. So that's really my plan, is just, like, go with the flow, really enjoy this journey. And, like, everything, right? Not, like, look at everything like, oh, it's more like,
it's more like a business attitude.
Yeah, right? Like, I deserve to be here. I've been working really hard. Like you said, business at this, right? I've been trying to have that more, that mentality, man, for this one.
Yep, and the bank will come.
Right? I feel like that's, you hear a lot of champion guys say that, right? Like, they manifest things. Kind of like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And a lot of this stuff, not all, but, most of the time when you're really confident about stuff like that, it happens, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to get that bag, that money, man. Be helpful. And, I'm not 30 years old now. It's not like I'm 25, like before, like 26 in the contenders,
That's like, that's like the prime age in the UFC.
I don't know, man. You see, these guys are getting even older, these champions. If you look at a lot of the champions, they're kind of like, the 33s, 34.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you look at it, a lot of these champions are up there. Like you said, that prime age is 30 to 35, I feel. So it's like, I feel like the age even go higher now.
I mean, shit, Clay Guida is fighting Saturday, I think.
Really?
Shit. He's up there, and Cowboy
he's
Cerrone is up there.
He's actually those are some of the guys I actually started watching, like a lot of those, like, DVD tapes. You know what I'm talking about?
What's a DVD?
Right? Like the UFC ultimate knockouts or submissions and shit 8. I used to watch all those stuff, man, in high school. That's what kind of started. So for sure at least me in Massachusetts got your back on this one, and I'm sure you got plenty of people on your corner. And so everybody's got to check out Dana White's Contender Series, Season 5, Week 1. Yeah.
Carlos the Cannon right here versus the Twig. or we'll call him. How about L Twig?
Yeah. That's
but yep. So everybody needs to know, main cards at August 31st, right?
Yep. It's on a Tuesday. It's after this other card.
So we'll check back with you after. Hopefully we got a 9-0. I'm not gonna say nothing. And so I wish you nothing but luck when you go there. Have a good time in Vegas, but have some good enjoy some nice water. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, really, man. The desert air over there, summertime, right?
Yeah,
probably all quarantined up, came and walk around too much, I bet.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But man, yeah, just like, thank you, Manny, for the opportunity to be on your show, dog. I appreciate it, man. Definitely we could talk, win, draw, lose. I'm always cool about it. I just show love to people that show love to me back. Really, that's what it is. So I'm just trying to make everybody proud. Get this 9-0. You know, we can really
For sure,
talk about
man.
it.
For sure, we'll get
you.
that win, man.
Thank
Either
you,
way.
man. You already know. You already know,
But,
dog.
But yeah, good luck, and let's kick this El Twigo ass.
Like that.
But Carlos, thank you so much coming from on the show. Carlos Candelario.
Yeah.
Candelario, sorry. And yeah, know the name, know the game. But thanks again, Carlos, and we'll talk to you again.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man.
All right. See ya.
What's up? We the BMG boys, and thank you for listening.
Please follow his Facebook page and subscribe to his podcast at Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Let's go.
We tell them no.
When it comes to getting dough and chasing dollars.